Hi, everyone. So, I've had a lot of questions coming up since I've started this account, and I just wanted to answer some of them for you. What I'd like to go over is why I started this liquid fast, what brought me to this point in my life where I decided to just give up solid foods for a specific period of time. I'd also like to go over what I'm actually doing in terms of the fast day to day, what it looks like, what I'm taking, and then also how I'm actually doing a fast. And hopefully that just gives everyone a little bit more clarity as to some of the questions that are still burning in people's minds. Let's go back to that first topic, which is why. And really, for me, I mean, it's been a bit of a journey for me to get to this point. It's been a bit of progression over many years. I have experimented with fasting on and off for some time now, primarily just raw juice fasting over specific time periods. The longest juice fast that I did was 16 days, and that was many, many years ago. And then, since then, regularly I'd be just doing raw juice fast for anywhere between 3 to 7 days. And, I never really, like, I did feel better after the juice fast, but I wasn't really getting what I wanted to in terms of that deeper level of healing. And, another reason that I wanted to do this fast was health sovereignty, actually taking control of my own health, having control of my body. And, especially what's happened over the last few years in terms of people being coerced into giving up their bodily autonomy. And for me, it's our health sovereignty is all about our bodily autonomy and our choices that we can make to keep ourselves healthy. And over the last few years, I think I've mentioned in one of my earlier videos that it's been a natural progression of quitting things that were self-destructive and harming to me. I have done horrible things to my body in the past, like I'm sure many have, in terms of drinking, taking recreational drugs, smoking cigarettes, horrible things that I look back and just cringe and just cannot believe that I used to do this to myself. And I always knew, like, deep down, why am I doing this? This is just not in my best interest. But I did it. And, I'd make excuses that, oh, it's just a little bit here and there, sometimes a lot. And and let's not even talk about the food. I thought that I was healthy, and it turns out that I was not. And that's one thing that I'm learning, is that things that I previously considered to be healthy are in fact quite damaging to our system. And this is still a learning process that I'm going through and learning day by day. But yeah, going back to the health sovereignty, really just wanted to be the best version of myself. And being the best version of myself, a big part of that is unlocking a true healing potential within myself. I also have been observing the world around me in terms of people getting old and not being able to look after themselves. And, even just walking around the streets, you can see people as they're aging with walking sticks, hunched over, just looking like they're in pain. I don't want that for myself. I want to be in complete control of myself right up to the day that I decide to leave this place. I don't want to have to rely on someone to wipe my ass. And especially over the last few years, I don't want to have to rely on the system when it comes to my health. I don't want to end up in a hospital that I know does not have our best interest at heart. So, all of those things combined kind of make up the why as to why I've gone down this journey. And I suppose it seems a little bit drastic to stop eating for an extended period of time, but this is the most effective healing process that I've personally been through. So, yeah, that's my why. Uh, what am I doing? Okay, so I am following the Master Fast system, and the protocol that has been designed by that particular system over a 30-year period, which is based off a lot of Arnold Ehret's work, and also, from what I believe, a little bit of Dr. Robert Morse's work as well in terms of herbal tinctures and so forth. And how did I find this fast? So I actually found this fast through another friend, and he had had some really, really amazing results with it. So I thought, why not? I'm going to give it a go. And so I dove into it. And what does this fast look like? Like, what am I actually taking day to day on this fast? So essentially, it is a liquid fast, and I am drinking juice, but it's not raw juice. It's actually pasteurized grape juice. And I had a little bit of cognitive dissonance around drinking cooked juice at the start. And I was just thinking, why would I drink cooked juice? This goes against all of my understanding about uh, nutrition in terms of having cooked foods. And, especially being someone who was into raw juice fasting, the idea there is that the nutrition and the enzymes and everything you want are coming from that fresh juice that isn't cooked. But I had to throw that aside and understand that this particular system uses the juice as a solvent and it's not for nutrients. So the solving powers of this grape juice are used to actually loosen up all the mucoid plaque and everything that's just accumulated on the sides of your colon over, well, pretty much since childhood. And that's what its purpose is. That is the objective of the grape juice. Cooked or not, apparently the cooking unlocks some more powerful interaction or release within the GI tract to help loosen everything up. And yeah, I can tell you it is extremely effective. I've never experienced anything like it in terms of expelling waste. So yeah, and I've done colonics and so forth in the past, and I've had a little bit of plaque come out, but nothing like this. So it works. That's all I'm going to say. So in that particular, in the grape juice, there are other things. Well, you add lemon juice to that, and so that's just one part of the protocol, or the main part in terms of the liquid element. And then there's other things that support the protocol in terms of herbal tinctures and also herbal teas as well. And then along with that, we also have something that helps kind of push everything through, massage everything off. And that's a mixture of psyllium and some other bits and pieces that also just help the detox process. So that's pretty much what it is in terms of the fast. There's different levels of the fasting that you can do. So I've actually gone in and just gone straight for the hard liquid fast. For some people who haven't really fasted before, or maybe they have some chronic illness, they're a little bit concerned about diving in and experiencing really severe detox symptoms. There's different levels you can do. So you can start with maybe just doing 1 day of liquid fasting and then eating a specific diet for 6 days. Or, you could do 2 days of liquid fasting, and then it kind of builds up to just doing the complete liquid fast. Depending on what level of fast you're doing, you'll have specific herbal tinctures that will support that level. Now, how am I handling the fast? Particularly around work. A lot of people are asking, how do I handle this around work? I must admit that there has been some pretty tough days in terms of detox symptoms. And for me, I didn't actually start on this protocol right at the start. And I didn't really dive into it being 100% prepared. And that probably did also impact my experience. So I would recommend, if you are going to start the protocol, don't do what I did. Make sure you have all the elements. That's another thing that I forgot to mention. So just going back to the what? Enemas as well, daily enemas, lifesaver. So just coming back to the how, I am a Pilates instructor. And so it does require me to be quite active and alert. But I just made my mind up that I was just going to work around it. Thankfully for me, being a Pilates instructor, it does also give me a lot of spare time. I do have another job as well, which is currently just on hold, which was just everything just fell into place. So I luckily do have a little bit of spare time on my hand just to take it easy and step back and go at a bit of a slower pace, which has been perfect for me. That being said, there has been some tough days when I've had to drag myself into the studio and teach a class. But funnily enough, what I found is that even on those days where I felt particularly bad and I got myself moving and I got myself to the studio and I started moving my body a little bit, it would make me feel remarkably better. So it really just affirmed for me that movement does actually help the process. And I'm assuming that it's probably more, it helps the lymphatic system open up and start pumping out that stuff a little bit faster. That's just my assumption, but and my based on my experience. So moving definitely helps. And detox symptoms, well, I had a range of different detox symptoms, and this is where the enemas come into it. So when I started the fast, I initially started on a raw juice fast, and I think I was about 7 days in, and I knew roughly a little bit about the master fast system. And then I decided, okay, well, I really want to start expelling waste and I'm not really having much luck here. So that's when I decided to jump onto this system. And I think it was about day 7 or roughly day 7, I jumped onto the master fast system. And within a couple of days, 2 to 3 days, I started expelling waste. And that was without the enema kit. So I didn't even have the enema kit at this stage. I'd ordered online and I thought, whatever, I'll just start it and see where it takes me. As soon as I started expelling the mucoid plaque, that's when I started experiencing some pretty heavy detox symptoms. Because as you can imagine, this stuff is being loosened up. There's stuff that has been festering and rotting in our GI tract since beginning of our life, as soon as we start eating, essentially, depending on our diet. And that stores like all of these toxins and host parasites. And as soon as you start loosening that stuff up, what I understand, it actually releases some of these toxins back into your system. Years of damage and self-destructive behavior is like you almost revisit that. So yeah, I had some pretty rough days, a lot of just feeling like death on some days, skin rashes. I also had really weird knee joint pain sometimes, what you would expect from the healing crisis, detox symptoms, and headaches, slight headaches. I didn't really get too many headaches, but just feeling really flat and dead, not really wanting to do much, just low in energy. And I just felt a really deep desire to just relax and take things slow. And usually I'm one who I really love learning about things and reading and watching truth documentaries and so forth. And during this period of time, I really just didn't want to. I would just relax and sleep and lay in the sun. So I'm just trying to think what other detox symptoms I experienced. Well, I don't want to say this is a bad one, but I've lost lots of weight, which is great for me.